Welcome to the Krista Escamilla Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of the Krista Escamilla Show. I am so grateful that you're here with us today with my favorite guest. Of course, you know him and you love him, but you might not love him as much as I do because he's my husband, so I love him the most. My husband, Al Escamilla, is here today for our 100th episode.
And the cameraman. 100 episodes behind the camera.
He's the everything. And my phone a friend and my walking partner, my life partner. So we're just so happy to share this time with everyone to celebrate 100 episodes. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. I don't know where the time went.
I don't either. I just want to start by thanking everybody, sponsors, listeners, guests, every guest that sits in this chair. I just am so grateful because we've learned so much through the years.
I know when we started, we would have thought to get 100 episodes about the Permian, and now we have a waiting list, of a mile long. There's so many stories to tell that we haven't even scratched the surface.
I agree. Yeah. Everybody has a story.
They do, and they're so good.
They are. And what's that? There's a quote, and I actually screenshotted it because you know how I love quotes. So here is the quote, and this is truly how I feel. Let me get my glasses out.
While you're doing that, are you going to read it?
I'm going to read it.
Okay, go ahead.
This is why I love podcasting, because I love that we get to learn from the amazing guests, right, that sit here. But this is a great quote. It says, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And Confucius said that. I never feel like the smartest person in the room when I'm sitting here. And I love that because I truly learn from every single person, including you.
That's, we always talk about contests you can't win. Mm-hmm. Being the smartest is one. Mm-hmm. Being the richest is the other. Because there's so much more to gain. Yeah. And then you can define them so many different ways.
Yes.
But I love that quote. That's really good.
I do too. And so anyway, how I feel about the podcast, and I just wanted to thank you all from the bottom of my heart that we've been able to do this for 3 years. Been voted best podcast host for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And hey, if you want to go vote right now,
that's right. The polls are open.
The polls are open for, I'm just honored that I was nominated for local media personality and for social media influencer, which is shocking to me because I do not feel like a social media influencer, but I hope to be a social media encourager. That's what I hope.
I like that.
To be.
Just put that on your card.
Maybe. Yeah. Because I love encouraging people to live their best life and as you know, just cheer everybody on in what they do.
I was thinking about us doing this morning, and I thought, I really don't even feel like we know what we're doing.
No, we're winging it.
Because
do you ever feel like that? You're just winging it in life?
Like our daughter,
that's how we feel.
All of our kids are so good at social media, and we're not, but we have the content, it's always about the product.
Right.
And you create a great product.
Thank you.
And so I think when you have a good product, then you don't have to do all the extra stuff, even though we're going to try to do extra stuff.
Yes.
And I feel like as a part of that thought this morning, like the show is going to get so much better.
Yes.
Like Yamila.
Yes.
Joined our team.
Shout out to, yes, she is amazing.
She's going to help us with social media. And then
and our daughter Aspen, who is always throwing tips at us.
She's in New York right now at Social Media Week, and I'm so excited to hear what she learns. And maybe someday she'll be a part of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a team, and really it is truly a team. And I feel like our guests are part of our team, our listeners. We love hearing from everyone. So if you ever have and I know there's so many of you in the community that are great at this, sending us their suggestions of who should be on the show, and I love that. So please keep those suggestions coming in.
And what you would like to see more of.
Yes.
Like I gave you an idea, 3 months ago, maybe longer.
Which one was this?
I said, I think you should video yourself in the morning. Well, for a golf tournament.
Yes.
Because you spent 74 nights in a hotel last year with our youngest son at a golf tournament. Mm-hmm. And
shout out Marriott Bonvoy.
That's right. Marriott Bonvoy.
Hey, if you want to sponsor the show, just throwing it out there, that'd be great. But I love my Marriott Rewards membership.
But I think a lot of people would say, she's at a golf tournament. But it's so much work. You get up at 6 a.m. The way you have it planned is you go to Chick-fil-A, you get everybody food, you get them fed. They have to be at the golf course an hour, 15 minutes before. Mm-hmm. Then you have a 5-hour round.
You walk, by the way, as a parent.
And then you're feeding, throughout the round. Yes. And then exhaustion afterwards. And then you got to go eat again, and then you got to sleep. Yes. And it's not luxurious.
Yeah, it's not like we're just sitting by the pool all day while they go and do their
No.
sport.
I mean, maybe some parents are, but we're not.
No. But
And you're so good at it.
I
And
love
that's
it.
and my idea for you was you should video it, a day in the life of a golf mom, because a lot of people are interested in doing it, and they want to know what it's like, and you even talk about the tournaments that they're playing, because I think that's another issue, that if you're a young parent and you want your kids to play golf, one of the questions is, how do we get started?
Right.
And you could talk about that. And I think that's something people are interested in, but I'm a golf nut with our kids.
So let us know if you'd be interested in that. Because
Yes.
I told him the same thing. I'm like, nobody wants to see a day in my life. And
But then
he's
this
like,
morning, Aspen texted you and said, Mom, you got to do a day in the life.
Yes.
So,
and Yamila has been telling me
Yeah.
for a while we need to do it. So anyway, we'll do that at some point if that's what you want to see. But we want to know what you want to see and what you want to hear. And we've had some great suggestions through the years. A good friend, Jury Dragon, who loves the show. She listens to every episode. She'll always text me and say, "Oh, I love this person. I love hearing who you love, seeing in this chair." So, So
It would be fun to have her and Mike on.
oh, it would be.
Yeah.
Yes,
We could do
so
some
much-
music trivia with Mike.
Yeah, only if we can dance at some point.
We can dance. I mean, we can clear this place out and
That's
dance.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. Well, what do you want to talk about today? We have an open mic for this 100th episode where we're thanking you, and we're so grateful. But I want to know what's on your mind, Al.
I mean, I only know a few topics.
Okay, what are they?
Well, being a husband, a dad,
Which you're great
selling caps,
at. Which you're great at.
and making golf tournament schedules, which is a
Which you're
full-time
great
job.
at. It is a full-time job.
Yeah.
So let's talk golf real quick.
Okay.
How does someone get their kid started in golf?
Well, someone asked Alex the other day, and I was with him, when did you start playing? And he said, or maybe it's Allie, and the answer was, how old are you when you start walking? Mm-hmm. And so it was very intentional in our house, and you knew that when we got married, that our kids were going to learn how to play golf. I was never a good golfer, but I've read every golf book that's ever been written, watched every, video that's ever been made. And so Ronnie White was our neighbor. Remember Ronnie and Marcia?
Mm-hmm. Very sweet couple. They were the head of a golf course, Church of Christ.
Yeah, and he was still is a great golfer.
Yes.
And so when Austin was born, Ronnie came over and we tilled up our backyard.
That's right.
We had no idea what we were doing, and planted a putting green in our backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was very intentional. And so I made sure that the kids, grew up around it. And then I think we just made it a lot of fun.
Yes.
When people say, well, how do all four of them love it? We made it fun. And so we
Play
have
games.
we have a few rules that I'd love to share. It's free. It's free.
Free advice.
Yeah, free advice. Thanks for asking.
Hey, that's what podcasting's about.
thanks for
It's
asking.
Free advice. Thanks for asking.
So, starting them out, we just had a little pitching net, and we didn't even have a golf club. We just pitched a ball into a net, and that's how, we taught our kids how to measure, feel, and
Yeah.
touch. And then on Sundays after Mass, we would go pick up John Burrito and
True
go out
story.
to Green Tree.
And look at the ducks.
Yeah, and look at the ducks. And so they loved being out there.
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah.
We all did.
If they wanted to swing a club, great. If they didn't, that's okay too. If they just wanted to stare at the duck and give them a few French fries,
Yeah.
which we do not recommend. But
What do we call it? The crazy duck or something like that?
yes,
Crazy goose, silly goose.
Sally, silly Sally,
Silly goose.
silly goose,
Yeah.
silly goose.
So, and then when they're super young, I think Alex was 5 when he was in prep tournaments. The way it works is you do prep first, which is 9 holes, and that's fun as a dad because you get to caddy, as long as you don't take it too serious. I learned that rule early on, that you teach off the golf course and you have fun on the golf course. And our rule is we don't talk golf after a golf tournament.
Except for one question. I was
Shot
asked,
of the day.
Shot of the day.
That's
Let's
right.
focus on the good. Shot of
Yeah.
the day. And sometimes there's like 10 shots of the day, and sometimes they're like, well, there was just this one today, And so, but they guide the conversation.
And all kids are different. Some
Yeah.
kids may want to talk about it, but you got to keep it positive if you do,
Yeah.
because kids are hard enough on themselves. They all want to play well.
Absolutely.
And so we made a rule that we weren't going to do that. And so it was always fun for them, I think.
I think so too, for the most part.
Yeah.
There's of course days that golf is not fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
We had one
like-
tournament where all 4 of them won.
And that's a moment I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Because that is very rare and will never happen again.
No.
Right, because they're not competing all
Right.
anymore. But It was the one ride home in the car where everybody was happy.
There were no rules.
Yeah, no rules. I was like, let's go to get ice cream. Let's get this. Let's get that pizza. And everybody was happy. And they were so excited for each other, which was beautiful.
And then for girls, the scholarship opportunity
So good.
is so good.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a great sport, and we could go on and on.
We
but
could.
if you ever have any questions, Al is so good
Yeah,
at
you can
talking
call me.
golf. Call him anytime.
Come see me.
All right, let's
It's
talk.
all I know.
Let's talk about our next favorite thing is business. You're a great business owner. You are a incredible entrepreneur. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. I've said it a million times over the past 3 years. I am entrepreneur by marriage, not by spirit.
Well, you become a good entrepreneur, because I don't think I'm great, but I think you become a good entrepreneur by having a lot of failure.
Yes.
And learning from it, and then figuring out what your weaknesses are, and then hiring those weaknesses.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tracy.
Yes, thank you, Tracy. Shout out to our CFO.
Yeah. So she keeps us in line, keeps everything legal, and keeps us, in order of what we need to be doing, and that lets me go, create products and
Do what you're good at.
and be a salesperson. Yeah.
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 What advice would you give to someone starting out a business? Because it is scary, and there's going to be highs, and there's going to be lows, and there's going to be ups and downs, right? If anyone's ever owned a business, there's going to be days you're struggling and you feel like you're failing, and then there's going to be the success days, right? So what advice?
I think if you have an idea and you want to start a business, I would say don't ask anybody their advice, because if you ask 10 people, you're going to get 10 different opinions, and half of them or maybe more are going to say, oh, don't do it. There's already a, cap company, or there's already a, snow cone stand, or whatever it may be.
Someone told us not to open Rig ID 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But thank God you didn't listen.
Yeah.
and
it wasn't fun.
Right.
It hadn't been a fun
to go through a bust.
10 years,
Right,
but it
right.
sure has been fulfilling.
Yes.
And it's created, great opportunity for our family.
Right.
So
but with that said, it's good to listen to mentors in your life, those people you trust.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's really important. But like you said, if you ask 10 different people, you're going to get
if
10
you really feel
different
passionate about
opinions.
something, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What he said.
Yeah.
That is good advice.
Yeah.
What about, I know that you have had lots of successes, lots of failures. Is there one thing that kept you strong during both?
You just can't give up.
Yeah.
You preach it on this show.
Wait, where is it? Never give up. There's the candle.
Yeah. So yeah,
Never give up.
cue the candles.
Cue the candles.
Our candles are great.
Yes. Come.
We're walking through
Come smell one.
Granbury
Yes.
2 weeks
Granberry.
ago, 3 weeks ago, and we go through a candle shop, and they have the funniest sayings. It's
So funny.
Sense of humor.
Sense of humor. So,
Like-
some of them are so funny I cannot repeat them
Yeah.
on this.
And so we asked if they could do, private label for the Krista Escamilla show, and so we did 3 candles, and you can come to the studio and pick them up.
Yes.
And
she-
they're great.
Leanne's amazing. She did these scents for us. So we have Dream Big, Believe, and Never Give Up, which, as you know, are my 3 favorite things. Just because there have been times, and probably in both of our lives, right, where you feel like, why am I doing this? Should I
Yeah.
go on? Yes, you should. I think everyone has had those moments in their life where their life could have gone this way or that way.
And I think a lot of it starts as a youth when you're participating in school, whether it's in sports or maybe even in the band. And that's where you learn that, hey, you can't give up, because there's gonna be somebody more athletic than you. There's gonna be somebody that, can read music better than you, or whatever it may be. And I use those 2 because I was in the band and I played sports.
Yeah.
And so, but you just can't give up.
Yeah.
You got to work harder and train harder, and be willing to make the pivot when you need to.
Yes.
And I would just say, gosh, I think I'm too, I don't want to use the word dumb, but I'm just not going to give up. If 10 people came in here and said, hey, this isn't going to work, I wouldn't even listen.
Right, if you felt strongly about it.
Absolutely.
And I love that about you, because those ideas, those best ideas, are the ones that have worked. And,
Yeah.
and who knows where it would be if it hadn't,
Yeah.
if you had given up.
Yeah.
So yes, never give up.
And a lot of times it's the
And-
people that you're closest to that don't support you, and that's okay. It's okay. It's okay for that. Doesn't mean that they don't love you and they're not your friends. It just means that they're just they're a little different, and that's okay.
Yeah, because everybody is different. Everyone looks at the entrepreneurial journey is different. I like what you said a minute ago, that when you're in high school, sometimes it's easy to play the comparison game, right? And you compare and see what others are doing. But I love the saying that you should never compare your journey to someone else's, because they're in a different stage of their journey. And what do I always tell the kids? Be yourself, right? I always say, you be you. Even when they're on the golf course, you be you. Remember what I told them one time on the driving range?
Yeah.
I said, this is so silly, because I am not a good golfer, just to clarify. Do not judge my golf game by our children's. But I said, okay, guys, don't compare your ball flight to anyone else's. And they just looked at me like, what are you talking about? Because I saw them out on the driving range, and they would be watching someone else. And I'm like, don't compare. Your ball flight is your own.
Your ball flight is fine. Who cares if we're a mile left?
That's right. But it's true. It's like you can't compare your journey to anyone else's, because it's yours, and you're unique and special, and you have your gifts. And if there's one thing that I hope that every single person that listens to this podcast learns from our guests, you and every other person that sits in that chair, is that you are unique, you have your own gifts, and you are also not alone on this journey, because there's so many people that are here supporting and cheering you on.
Yeah.
And we're one of them. So
And I think that's one of the, you just made me have a thought. When I was growing up, it wasn't club baseball, it wasn't club volleyball. And we just played.
Yeah.
We played in the parking lot, we played in the playground.
Yeah.
We played wherever we could. And I think sports is so good for kids, and even at the college level. I mean, our Midland Chaparrals they were sitting in first place yesterday. I don't know where they're at today, but I can look at my leaderboard in a minute and tell you.
He has all the leaderboards pulled up for college golf everywhere.
Yeah. And it just keeps you going.
Yeah.
It keeps you in that mindset of not giving up.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and even our kids, they all liked golf. They didn't all love it, but they were all really good at it, and they never gave up.
Yeah.
Even when they wanted to. And it's made them who they are today.
Absolutely.
We're super proud of them.
Which is amazing children that I'm so proud of and I love so much, and is our why for everything we do. Still is. So
how about you pick one?
Me pick one?
Yeah.
I never get to pick.
I know.
I'm so excited. I get to pick a quote of the day. Okay. I got the caring card.
See, perfect. See?
Thanks, sweetie.
Perfect.
Thanks. I'm so excited. Okay, this one says, too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. Les Brown. Amen,
See?
Les Brown.
I love Les Brown.
Oh, I love Les Brown. And that's why we do what we do. Like, I don't even know how to say this. Okay, it's at one point in my life, I did not know if my dreams would come true. And I almost gave up. I am grateful for people in my life pouring into me that said, do not give up.
Yeah.
And one of my pet peeves, as I started to see my dreams come true, was when others would give up, because I'd be like, you're so close to living your dream. Don't let fear stop you. And so this quote is everything. I believe that, and it doesn't mean that the dream doesn't change, right?
Yeah.
Because God knew I shouldn't be like Carrie Underwood and sing on American Idol. But I thought that was my dream when I was young. But it changed. He knew I was a better talker than singer. But the dream changed, and my deep down dream was to entertain people and have them smile and feel good about themselves and help them live their best life.
I think that brings up a good point, because it's a reminder that we're never in control.
Nope.
Regardless of what we think our dream is, we're not in control. God's always in control, and the timing is always great.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you question what happens to you throughout the day, and you may have that answer 10 years, it may be a year or 2 or 10, but it's always perfect.
Yes.
And it took me a little bit of time to realize that. Probably 50 years.
That's all right.
But I had a good friend of mine, Jeff Bailey, who is the most inspiring, I call him a preacher, alive, and at least in my life. He's so good. And we went to high school together. And every day he sends a group of people a little motivation. And he's having a hard time with his sister right now. She's got cancer, and she's been super sick. And so I called him on my way to work this morning. I said, look, we just have to remember we're not in control. Mm-hmm. And whatever God's plan is, you have to remember that. And even at your highest level, you have to remember that sometimes.
Absolutely.
And I think that we've seen a lot of that is when we do think we're in control, is when we get humbled and realize that we're not.
Yeah.
So, going back to your journey, I mean, I don't know that you're not going to sing again, but I would love to see it because you're so good at it.
Only in the shower.
But
Only in the shower in the car.
Car
karaoke right here.
But what you're doing today, I think, brings that joy that you were looking for.
Absolutely.
It just didn't come in the form that you were thinking, but it's the same purpose.
Oh, I love this job. I always say this is a job I never knew I needed and would love so much. And Al may want to share how it came about, but
I think I may have shared that
in a previous
podcast.
Oh, so we don't want to bore you.
Yeah, but I was basically at the YMCA one day, and the Baker Hughes podcast was available, and I volunteered you to do that.
When I had just stepped away from news after, and had been at CBS 7 for 12 years, and we had talked about a podcast, but we weren't ready, and I thought I was going to have some downtime, and I was like, I'm going to take some time off. I think it was like a week, and Al goes, I have a job for you. I said, I didn't know I was looking. But I love it. I love podcasting so much because it truly is so just heartwarming to hear the stories, but to see the guests when they get to share their story, the joy that they feel, and then the lessons they get to teach. And I just love the full circle moment. So I again want to thank all of you for listening because it has truly made a difference in our life, and it gets us to shine a light on the town and the place we love. So let's talk about West Texas.
Okay, I'm going to reset the camera real quick.
Okay, because I've talked too long.
No, you're good. I just got to push play again.
So this is where I get to chat with all of you. This is one-on-one time. But I do want to thank everyone. So let me thank our sponsors really quick while we're resetting the cameras. Huge shout out to, of course, to Rig ID Workwear, to Omni Midland Hotel, to the Preserve, to the Laughlin Hotel, Kevin Foreman of Foreman Financial, to ThinFR, JoinCapClub.com, and Midland Cap Company, and to anyone who has shared this podcast or left a review. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just love highlighting this great community, and so that leads us to...
I'm back.
You're back. Al's back. He is a multitasker. He can be the guest and the cameraman.
How are we doing, Yamila?
At the same time.
Okay.
But let's talk about Midland, why we love West Texas so much, because there are so many good things that come out of Midland, Texas, and Odessa, and I mean the whole community of West Texas.
I mean, you talk about the land of opportunity.
Yes.
And opportunity for so many different things, culture, profession, life. I mean, I love Midland.
I do too.
And I think when you're younger, you think, what am I going to do with my life? How am I going to get out of here? Mm-hmm. And we've had a lot of friends that did that, and they bought, really beautiful places. And then you get there and you realize you get sick and you can't call your friend that's a doctor that's going to go get you into the ER, or call your friend that's a principal and going to help you with your kids. And our community does that. It offers that, and you miss that. And most of them come back, right? And so we've always talked about, hey, what are we going to do? Well, we're just going to sit right here and be Midlanders, which I think is great.
I do too. I do too. Doesn't mean we don't travel to other places and enjoy
right.
other places and love other places too, but there's no place like home. And you know that feeling when you drive back into town, you pull up into your home, there is no place like home. And I feel that way about Midland. And
I'm excited about the Preserve.
Yes. There's so many exciting things happening.
When we bought our house, Callaway wasn't a street, remember?
Right.
Yeah. And now Callaway's a street, and it was a golf course, and a lot of people bought there because it was a golf course. I mean, not us, but we loved golf.
Right.
So we used it.
Right.
But it's going to be really cool for our community.
I agree.
With the zoo and the restaurants, and I think it's going to be a great addition.
Yeah.
So
that's definitely a gem that is in the growth process and in coming to be. They're under construction. I cannot wait to see the final product. Let's talk about some other great things. I mean, Midland Athletics Syndicate. Yeah. We, as sports families, we have had to travel for years, and I know many of you have as well. That's going to be a great gem in our community as well. And
that's going to open up not even just for Midlanders, but if you live in Monahans and you're playing club volleyball, well, then we're going to have a place where you can come and enjoy it. And it's going to be, that was a group of guys that were at a volleyball tournament in Abilene and saw something and thought, we need this. And they didn't waste any time. They put a group chat together and said, let's get it done. And they did. I'm happy for those guys. I think it's amazing what they did. And some of them, their kids are not even going to they just care so much about Midland.
Right.
Their kids are going to be too old by the time, to use it a whole lot.
Right.
But they care so much about Midland that they saw a need for it, and they were willing to invest their time and their own money and to get it done. And that's just something that Midlanders do.
Which is amazing. And it goes
is.
back to that quote that John Peterson, who was on the podcast a couple of weeks ago,
That's right.
Said about planting the tree that you will never sit under its shade.
That's right.
And I love that, because that's what a lot of Midlanders do for West Texans, is they're planting those trees.
That's right.
The Summit Center, Christina Lee.
Oh, man.
What she has done there. And I know it was a team, an amazing team. And she's going to be on the podcast in a couple weeks, so look forward to that one. So, I mean, that's another gem. What else? I mean, so many things.
Our downtown area.
Centennial Park.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Yeah,
So
we're lucky to have such a good downtown. We used to take our pictures there before it was Centennial Park, and it was so dilapidated and getting old, and it took we call him Downtown Dufford to get a group together and come together and revitalize it. And those things are hard to do.
They are.
Because you have a certain group that isn't happy with spending money, investing in your hometown, and so you fight those battles along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But they're always strong enough to say, hey, this is what we think is right, and you're passionate about it, and you get it done, and then look at the benefits.
Absolutely, because what it comes down to is we hope that we hope our children, we hope your children will want to move back if they've moved away, or stay here and raise their families here. Because I mean, how beautiful would that be to have generations in this day? And we have to be honest, people like the new shiny stuff, right?
They
and
do.
So we've got to put the new shiny stuff out there. And I am grateful, because I don't have millions. And I'm grateful for the people that do, that want to pour back into Midland and build amazing things for families. So so huge shout out to our family, of course, but to our community, because our community is stronger because of the amazing people that are willing to pour back into it. And I'm grateful.
I mean, Travis Stice.
Yeah.
Started
Diamondback.
a company from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
He's retiring, but he's meant so much to this community and what he's built, and he's done it with so much grace.
Yes.
Without an ego, and it's all because of his faith.
Yeah.
He's a fellow Catholic,
Yes.
and he's a very devout Catholic, and so is his wife. And I'm super proud of what he did. I think he's just an amazing guy, and his family.
Yeah.
His son is a Navy SEAL.
Very cool.
Nothing that he
Very cool.
tells everybody, but he leads by example, and that's just another classic Midlander story.
Yes. There's so many of them. And that's why we get to have the Krista Escamilla show, is because of the great Midlanders.
Maybe when he retires, you'll come on the show.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Shout out Travis, please come on. Anything else you want to talk about? I mean, I'm just so in awe of the people that we have here in West Texas.
I don't know. I think one of the things that I'm proud of as a couple that we do is we take our health very seriously.
Ooh, health. We've had a lot of doctors on lately.
We have.
I don't know if you noticed that as a viewer and a listener. We've been trying to really incorporate health more, because it is something that we take so seriously.
It is.
We're doing all the things that these doctors are suggesting. We're walking the miles. We're walking 6 miles a day, drinking the water, trying to eat healthy. What did the last doctor say? I think it's like, make sure 50% on your plate is fruits and vegetables. Things that we know, but we forget as we get older.
We do a really good job of it. I'm proud of us for that journey we've been on, because we haven't always been on it. We have pictures to prove it.
Pictures? Yeah. We'll look back and go, what were we thinking that year?
But we didn't think
life
we were out
was
of shape.
busy.
Yeah.
Life was busy. We were getting up at 3 a.m. every day.
So I think, we've said recently that, the flex at our age is fitness. And
Absolutely.
to be able to, it's bad when you have to practice getting up and down from the ground. That's how you know you're getting old.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's a good thing to practice.
I'm proud of us for we've done that. And I think that, as we get to the 200th episode, that we just keep going strong and make the show better and make ourselves better and make the community better.
Yes.
And if we do that along the way with a few stumbles, then that's okay. But I'm proud of the show that you've created. And I'm just a camera guy. But
no, you're much more than that. Let me tell you, we've created. Oh, thank you, and I'm proud of it too. Let's talk about something good. Back in 2020, remember that song? Tell me something good.
I do remember.
We started asking people that, and I want to bring that back this year, because I think we need to focus on the good always, and always look for the good. So tell me something good right now.
Well, I'm really excited about the Midland College golf team. I mean, I mentioned that earlier, but there's so much good going on. Our son, Austin, our oldest son, started a shoe company called Veloci.
Yes.
I'm super proud of him for that because it takes courage to do entrepreneurship, as you know.
Yes.
And then his girlfriend Audrey for supporting him because, as you know, it's challenging to support an entrepreneur, but she's supported him the whole way. And then Aspen. I mean, I just couldn't.
Let's give VelociRunning.com. Go check out those shoes.
That's right, Veloci Running. And
help out those entrepreneurs.
I can show you my pair, but I'll have to stand up in a minute. Aspen is in New York at Social Media Week.
Yes.
I mean, that's
She's doing
something
amazing
great.
for Beat and Bow companies.
Yeah.
She really is a social media specialist.
And then both of our girls together. Allie went to regionals in golf last year as an individual, but they did it as a team this year.
Yes,
And-
so good.
And they've played such a crucial part of Lubbock Christian golf.
Absolutely.
And
I'm so proud of them.
That's another thing, that God had planned that we didn't,
Mm-hmm.
and them going to Lubbock Christian. But I can just tell you, I can't think of a better institution.
I can't either.
I really can't.
And they've had the best experience, the best college experience.
It's
And
unbelievable.
yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And then our youngest, Alex.
Alex.
Oh,
Yeah.
Alex. He's so sweet. He is a hard worker.
He is. Yeah.
He is a joy to be around. And you know what I love? I love watching him on the golf course compete because his competitors love being around him just as much as he loves being around them.
That's so true.
And to me, that is a testament to his character.
Because all you have to do is look at his Instagram page and see the comments on some of his posts, and he doesn't like for us to talk good about him.
No, so right now he's cringing, and he's
He
like,
won't
stop.
he won't
even
watch.
listen anyway, so.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. He's not listening.
But we always, everybody, it's hard to say. I've heard Scotty Scheffler say it, and a lot of other professionals say golf isn't my identity. It's so hard when you're that good to not make it your identity. It's not his identity because
No.
he's such a good kid, and that's first.
Yeah.
And he's God fearing, and he sets a good example for his friends.
He does.
I mean, he really does.
I know. I'm proud
And
of
so,
him. All of them.
yeah,
all
they're
of them
good.
so much.
So, yeah.
All right. So thanks for telling me something
Thanks
good.
for
Those were
playing.
lots of goods.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing and telling me something good.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite things. Tell me your favorite life hack.
Oh wow! This my favorite life hack is at 5 o'clock in the morning, turning the pan on and presetting breakfast.
Yes. I am so excited that you get up at 5 because I get up at 7 and then I go
everything's ready for you.
And then I go make breakfast and the pan's already heated up. Thank you. I
welcome.
love that life hack. My favorite life hack is him. Yes, you're my favorite life hack.
Oh, thank you.
But nobody else can have you. So, favorite fun fact that nobody would know about you by reading your bio.
I was a band geek.
Yes, I love that fun fact about
I
you.
loved it. I loved
Yeah.
band.
And tell all the instruments you could play.
just the saxophone and the piano.
Piano.
Yeah.
Which
Can't play them anymore, but
fun
maybe
fact
if I
is, if
practice.
you play the piano, you can play the sax,
Same-
right?
same notes.
or something like. I was not in band.
It's the same reading music.
Oh, okay.
But in Monahans, that's the beauty of growing up in a small town, is that you do everything. It's kind of like going to a little private school.
Yeah.
You could play first and second quarter and then go change and then go march at halftime.
Yeah.
That's unheard of now because everybody thinks you have to specialize at everything. But in Monahans, you could do it all.
Yeah.
So go Mean Green.
Yes, go Lobos.
That's right.
All
Oh,
right.
their softball team is phenomenal. So
Yes.
shout out to.
Are they going to?
They're going to regionals. Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Coach Schwarb.
Yes.
And then my best friend in high school, Louis Crosco, his brother is a psycho softball dad. Yeah, and he's psycho.
I was like,
period.
where are you going with this?
Yeah.
Psycho.
He's psycho. Period. I mean,
softball.
he's psycho all the way around, but he's really a psycho softball dad, and he helped train his granddaughters, who are phenomenal softball players. And this is how psycho he is. He had a heart attack
And kept at the game, right?
at the game, but
didn't want to
didn't want to tell anyone. This is this past weekend, and waited a couple of days because he didn't want people to think about him and take away from them. So we hope you heal up, Larry.
Yes.
And
Talk
and
about
you
selfless.
you got 3 days before regionals, so let's go.
Go Mean Green.
That's how Monahans rolls, though. Heart attack one day, game the next.
That's right. That
That's
is. Monahans, no one supports their athletes, their student athletes, more than Monahans
That's
Lobos.
right.
I mean, you should see when they go off to state, there is a parade going down the main street
Yeah.
for whatever sport it is. I don't
Jeff
care what
Jones.
sport it is. I don't care if it's golf. I don't care if it's football. Whatever it is, there is a parade going out down Main Street.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
what it should be.
Jeff
I love it.
Jones, he's in administration. I'm not sure exactly what his role is, but he's kept that culture alive there. And then Cameron Swarb, I mean, he bleeds green.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really does. And so do his kids.
Yes.
Not by choice.
Yeah.
He just pours it in them. So they're amazing. So go Lobos.
I love that. Okay, what
I
else?
don't even remember the question.
I don't either.
Oh, was it fun fact? It was fun fact.
Like, where did we go?
Hey, how about a
with
fun
this?
fact about you?
Fun fact?
I know one.
What? What is
No,
it?
I'm going to let you tell it.
I don't know what you're thinking. I can walk on my hands.
Yes, that's it.
I can walk on my hands.
Yeah.
I was a gymnast growing up,
Uh-huh.
and I could do a backflip through a hula hoop. That was my claim to fame in high school. I could do a backflip through hula. When people say they'll jump through hoops for you, I mean it.
Yeah.
Thanks, sweetie.
I have to roll the tape one day.
What other fun facts? I've got a fun fact about Al that I'm going to share.
Oh, boy.
He's the most flexible guy. He can do yoga like no other. His down dog is better than most women's down dog. Let me tell you. Okay, so can I tell the story?
Sure.
Why not? It's our podcast, right? So one time we were in a yoga class and the yoga teacher walked up to him and said, "It's okay if you can't do all of the stretches. You can modify it to your level."
It must have been in my chunky stage, what I was talking about earlier, because she looked at me, walked through the door, and go, "I'm not sure what he's doing here, but we're going to have a little talk."
But at the end, you had the best down dog, and she came up and apologized. She
apologized.
said, "I am so sorry for prejudging you. You're the best down dog out of the whole class." And I'm like, I can't even get my heels all the way on the ground. And he's just like flat on the ground.
I practiced at home all the time.
So there you go. There's
Yeah.
a fun fact about you that I want to share. Okay,
Yeah.
do you have any others one you want to share about me?
Let me see.
Now that we're ratting each other out here.
I love when you sing,
Oh, thank you. I love
Yeah.
to sing, even if the words are wrong.
even if the words are wrong. Yeah, we've noticed that. I know the words, I just can't sing them.
We had a really bad one the other day. It was so bad. I was so wrong on the words, but I didn't care. I sang it like I knew, like it was New York, New York, and I was singing at the top of my lungs, and I was singing about Georgia or something. And
Yeah.
It wasn't even about Georgia.
No.
Anyway.
I think you should give your mom a shout out.
Let's get, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, my mom's doing something truly amazing right now.
Yeah.
So let me tell you what it is. So she ran pageants and she was a dance teacher for over 50 years. She had this thought a few months back. She's 78 years old, doesn't teach dance anymore, still helps a little bit with pageants, but she said, "I'm tired of going to my friends' funerals and them not getting celebrated while they're alive. So let's hold a glorious Golden Girl celebration." So here's what we're doing. We're going to celebrate women ages 85 to 100 like a pageant, but everyone's a winner. Everyone's getting a crown. Everyone's getting flowers.
As long as they can stay awake.
As long as they can. I told her to do it. Timing is crucial when we decide what time to do this at. But she has gotten the most amazing response. This is back in my hometown of Vacaville. And I'll be flying out there for it, the glorious Golden Girls. And I'm going to MC it because, as you know, I love to MC and I love to celebrate good people doing good things in the community, and that's what we're going to do. Good people. When I talk about these ladies, 85 to 100 women who have served their community, they have served their families, they have served their jobs. They have
Not 85 to 100 women, 85 to 100 years
old.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, thank you for
Clarify.
clarifying. 20 women, ages 85 to 100,
Yeah.
will be celebrated, and it's going to be so much fun.
It is
So
gonna be
yeah,
fun.
shout out to my mom.
Nobody
She-
celebrates them.
And she's where, she's one of the ones that taught me dream big, believe, never give up,
Yeah.
for sure. Because, that's just what we did. She just said, suck it up, buttercup, and get out there.
That's right. She still says it.
She still does, 78 years old.
Yeah.
She's
And shout out to
qualified.
Carmen, too. Carmen's my mom.
Yes, I love my
And
mother-in-law.
If you watched the last episode of the Krista Escamilla show, well, after this, it may be, it's the one on
One before,
okay,
on Alzheimer's.
On Alzheimer's.
Yes.
So her husband has Alzheimer's, and it's tough.
It is tough.
It's hard to understand that disease because you knew that person and loved them for so many years, and then they change right in front of you, and it's hard to understand that that they don't remember you and that they don't really just they talk to you different. It's just
Being a caregiver is
it's
tough.
It's very hard.
Yes.
And my mom is, she's a fighter. Literally a fighter.
Yes.
We're first generation. So her and her brothers came across the border. I think she was 12. I probably should have listened better, but I'm thinking she was 12. And they all crossed, at the same time and ended up in different parts of the world or the country. And that's how she ended up in Sanderson, Texas,
Yeah.
and met my dad.
Yeah.
And so
She's amazing.
She really is.
We couldn't have raised 4 kids without her.
No, I mean she's the one that taught us grit, and she's gritty to this day.
I love grit.
Yeah.
Love gritty people. Love grit.
Yeah.
And go get some grit.
So shout out to our moms.
Shout out for our gritty moms.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there anything in conclusion that you wanted to say that as we kind of close out this 100th episode? Beside thank you, I cannot thank you all enough for listening and supporting.
I'm just
the
excited
show.
about the next 100 episodes.
I am too.
I think it's going to be great.
I am too.
We'll upgrade our equipment and sets, and who knows where we'll end up. I mean,
you never know, but one thing I never want to lose is this dream big
right.
sign, because if we can encourage anyone any day that has maybe lost the ability to believe it for themselves, we want to believe it for you.
We have talked about doing, maybe somebody will give us some feedback, maybe not, but we have talked about doing a live show at the Bush Convention Center and bringing a motivational speaker in and doing a live podcast there.
I think that'd be fun.
I think it'd be a lot of fun too.
Yeah. All right, so there's goals.
Yeah.
We now set it. It's now set in video and audio. It's in stone. We didn't sign it.
We have a name for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Well, that'll definitely be in our next season. The next 3 years, we are going to do that, and I can't wait.
I was thinking the next 6 months.
Next 6 months. 'Cause that's how Al rolls.
Why wait 3 years? I'll be 60 years old.
Okay, next 6 months. This has been fun, sweetie.
It has been.
None of it could happen without you and our amazing team around us, and I just love you so much, and I'm grateful that we get to do this.
I love you too.
I truly get to do something I love, coming to work every day, and I love to do this because we get to shine the spotlight on others, and I think it brings joy. And me, I just want to bring joy. I just want you to smile and have fun.
Yeah.
That's the most important role in our family, right? What
That's
do I
right.
always say at every birthday party? Even when they were like 2. Have fun.
That's right.
Have fun, no matter where you're at.
That's right.
So I think that's it. Let's close out then.
Okay.
Final words?
Never give up.
Never give up.
Yep. Just
And
never
dream
give
big
up.
and believe. Thank you for joining us. I cannot tell you how much we appreciate each and every one of you. Look forward to seeing you at the next one, and look forward to seeing you in this chair someday.
That's right.
You make it a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.